template is a great thing because it's more kind of structure is there for you already to put it in there. But if you don't know what goes where and how you need to draft your resume, the templates are not going to work out for you. So I don't recommend using the template if you don't know how to write your own resume, because there are a bunch of templates out there. Everyone talks about their template works. So what I suggest for people who are willing to learn the resume writing and who know what they want to write and who already have figured it out, the template is the best thing. But if you have not cracked the resume writing and if you don't know how to sell yourself on paper, even if you have a best template in the world, your resumes are not going to be picked up by that ATS tool or even picked by hiring managers. Hence, even if you're paying thousands of dollars for a template, you know what? Possibly that's a waste of money, because you're not going to be passing that ATS tool, and also you're not going to get that interview. So be very cautious about picking a template. You only pick the template when you know how to write it, how to sell yourself, and how to pick the keywords and what you're looking at. Today, I'm going to show you quick little tips here and there so you can practice and start seeing it if that works for you. So basically what you're looking at is you're looking at the job descriptions on a posting and you're comparing the keywords and you are putting those down on the template that you have. You need to practice, you need to cater to each job title to make sure that your resume gets picked up by the machine online, and also you need to ensure that the human eyes are going to like it too. So hiring managers are only going to give you 10 to 20 seconds. They're going to scan the resume. If they don't like it, if you're fluffing all those keywords in there, chances are they're not going to invite you because they know, they can sense the bot on your resume.
All right, so when it comes to resume writing, this is a template, but this is not the only template that we use. We have a different varieties of template, but again, it has been customized as per job descriptions. So when you're looking at the resume writing, you're not looking at the keywords only. What matters is where you place those keywords. So all those red ones which are highlighted inside the box, those are all strategy that we put it through. So when it comes to the keywording, it has to make sense. And these are all directly taken from the job description. So when the employers are looking at it, then they actually see it on top that you do qualify for role already based on the top, and they want to move on at the bottom right here where you're showcasing the high skills, which is the hard skills normally, and you're looking at the technical industry wording and jargon in some places. And these are all about hard skills, and normally it should be measurable as well. Measurable goals, for example, these are all risk management and transaction monitoring, for example, would be how many transaction monitoring per day you do it or per hour you do it, like all bunch of those keywords are placed in there strategically under your competencies. So when the hiring managers are looking at it on the top, they already like you on top, they're going to move here and they will check mark, okay, the person can move on, and then they can see the title, exactly the same title that you're applying for, and then they're going to look at how many years of experience. And again, sometimes they would want the you would see the requirement when it comes to experience. So if it's more than 2 years, you will already pass that requirement. So it's really crucial for you to see the job descriptions and go line by line. So for example, on first job description, let's say these are all taken out from the job descriptions. Everything pretty much are strategically placed based out of job description. So you need to know where you put it. So you don't want to fluff the word for the sake of it because they can sense the bot, but you have to make it look like you know what you're talking about. And these are all the platform that you can use here, right here, and throughout the job descriptions. So when it comes to the resume writing, you have to go through the job description line by line. So if the employers are wanting to know about the risk alerts, and if you know the risk alerts or workflow, or if you work in the banking operations, and if you are working in the same industry, so you can all put right here the those wording, the keywords, and it's strictly based out of job descriptions. There's no point of putting anything around this area if you don't see the value in the job description. So if there's no mention about a particular thing, there's no point of putting anything in here, because basically you're speaking their language. And then again, you have to highlight your accomplishment as well. When you're looking at the accomplishment, you want to show them if it's measurable, right? So if you want to go ahead and reduce the error, you can always say I've reduced the error, but by how much? So you want to go and include those the percentages as well, so they can it can stand out in there. So over here, yes, you do the project, you do the project, you've been doing the project, so project would have been the key word. But then doing the project is one thing, but do you deliver in time, before the time? So you're looking at 1 month prior to deadline, so you're showing them accomplishment, so they can make sense even when they are looking at their resume. So if the job description does not require any project work, then there's no point of putting in here. So again, you're catering to the job description. So I hope that makes sense. The other key factor is how you start the action verb. So planned, meaning you've worked before, it's past, you no longer work here. And then the other thing is, this is 2020 already, that means it's not present, meaning you don't work there anymore. So you're starting action verb with the past tense. But if you're still working here, it would be present here, and then you're going to put plan instead of past tense, and that's how the action verb should be used. And you don't want to repeat the same action word right here. So use a variety of word when it comes to action word, and there are different websites, and you can Google the action verb as well. If you wanted to use in particular industry, you can certainly do that by Googling as well. And when we're moving down, you don't want to showcase more than 10 years of experience on it, because you want to avoid the age discriminations. At the same time, you just want to include something that it caters to the job description. So less is more when it comes to resume writing, being strategic about it, and it's just a hook. I mean, you don't have to sell the whole stories and resume. That's why the interviews are there. So you're just selling yourself on, hey, call me, I'm that good. So you are literally writing the resume, targeting the job description, so you're 100% match. And again, you have to match everything, pretty much 80% to 100% before you apply. And if you don't, then there's a risk of you creating, you're lying into the resume, or you're creating the fluffy word and hiring manager can sense it. So be careful on drafting the resume without any experience, because you do not want to lie. That's going to come up in the interview, or that's probably going to cost you interview. Maybe they're not going to call you because they feel that you don't have that expertise. But again, you just drafted it just to fluff it and bypass that ATS tool. The other thing is, when it comes to certification educations, go ahead and use it. Again, spell it out, and plus the certifications as well. Put it in the bracket as well, so that way they can see it, what kind of certifications you have, and only list out things that it's actually demanded on the job descriptions. There's no point of listing out all the educations in the world if it does not serve the need of employer. There's no point of it, and that could potentially hurt you, because they might think that you're overqualified. Why are you here applying for this job when you have all those degrees that it's not needed, or certification it's not needed, right? There's no point. And technical skills are something that you want to add in if you feel like that's needed in the job industry, and also if it's actually on the job descriptions itself. So go ahead and add it under technical skills as well, and list it exactly how it's listed on the job description. So again, it's all about playing around and making sense when you're writing the resume. It's not only about the keywords, it's not about the template. You can design the template beautifully, but you know what, if there's no content that it attracts the job descriptions or it matches the job descriptions, your resume is not going to be picked up, first of all, by a tool, and managers not going to call you for an interview, because you do have to stand out on content, because at last there's a human eyes involved on it. And the other thing is, you want to see what are the industry keywords. You can go to the Carmen.co. I am going to go scroll down and show you where. So Carmen.co, you can put the job title in there, and you can see the industry keyword. So right here at Carmen.co, and then you can go to skills benchmark, and you can type that role, whatever you're applying, and then you can just see the top 10 hard skills and all those. But again, it's not bang on 100%, but it kind of gives you an idea to start with it. But again, when it comes to those keywording, it gives you an idea, but that does not necessarily mean that it's what employers are looking for. That's why the resume needs to be customized, and you need to go through the job descriptions one by one. And this Carmen.co, actually, you can also score your resume accordingly if you want to, and you can copy and paste the job descriptions, and then you can score the resume and go from it. It works exactly the same like Job Scan. Other thing that you can do to find out the keywords is basically copying and pasting the job descriptions under wordclouds.com, and click on the word list and type or paste the job descriptions you're targeting, and click on apply, and then it gives you a bunch of keyword based on that job descriptions. Now, the biggest one that you see, it's pretty much is a keyword, so you need to put that in the resume. But again, it's not 100%, but you have to still know, you still have to do the homework, but that kind of gives you an idea when it comes to the keyword as well, and that's directly related with the job descriptions in there. So those are the tools that you can use. And also the jobscans.co, you can go and compare your resume against the job description. It gives you the tool. It's not foolproof, but it gives you an idea how far you are, and it scores you accordingly. And if you want to know the second part of how do you want to please the system, then I wrote the blog about it a couple of weeks ago with the video tutorial. You can go to teachanddo.com and then go under the blog, and then you can click on that, and you can get the tutorial about how do you go about pleasing the system. So it's not only about the pleasing the system, it's all about pleasing the system and pleasing the hiring managers with the good content. It's not only about the keyword, it's all about the content. It's not about the template again, it's all about what you put in there, matching the job descriptions. So you can follow us on a social media for regular tips. We do have Teach and Do channel as well on a YouTube. It comes with the interview tips and career related tips as well. Feel free to subscribe it, make a comment, and follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram. And if you wanted to know about our services, you can go to teachanddo.com, and you can go to services. It gives you the detailed outline of what we do, and it lists out everything pretty much what we do. And then you can contact us through the contact us page, and you can fill the information. We'll be in touch with you.